Another day, another dollar. Thank the Lord for another 24. God, I knew that was you. Just getting back to the crib from the gym. Quick correctional officer video though. I'm talking about some of the job training that you receive when you work in corrections. You know, some of the training that you may go through when you go through the academy, or in my case, working at the Bureau of Prisons, the federal prison system, the training that we go through on an annual basis. That training may not only help you when you at inside the prison, it could possibly help you when you out in the public as well, you know. For instance, say you're out, right? And you out at the you could be anywhere, the airport, at a restaurant, and somebody was to suddenly go into cardiac arrest, their heart stopped beating or something, man. The CPR training that we receive every year, you know, in my case, like I said, you may get it yearly at your facility, or you may go through it at the academy. It's good to have, not only inside the prison, but outside the prison. I actually had to do CPR and save an inmate's life before. Like last year, 2023, I'm working on the unit on day watch, right? It's almost time for shift change. It was about like 3:15. My relief showing up at 4, right? I'm working 2 units. The way it's set up, I work 2 units. So the inmates on the other's unit, they come running over to the office. They like, yo, this dude, he done fell out in the shower. Man, you need to get over there right now. So boom, I get up, I run over there. As soon as I get there, I go to the shower. The dude is laid out in the shower, face down. The water's still running. You know, he butt naked. He done fell out and had 2 heart attacks. Man, he had a history of heart problems already. He had 2 massive heart attacks in the shower. So I had to get on my walkie-talkie, call for medical assistance on the unit. I threw on some gloves, rolled him over. As soon as I rolled him over, he was cold to the touch. His eyes were open. I think he was dead. They said he had like, I want to say medical after the fact said he had like 6 heart attacks. So I immediately sprung into action and started pumping his chest, doing CPR, you know, till somebody else came, you know. Finally, medical, the nurses showed up. They was on the crash cart. You know, the prison is kind of big, so it may take a minute or 2 for them to get there from all the way from medical. Medical's down the hill from where the unit I was working on. So they got to get on the crash cart, like a golf cart, come racing up the hill. They got up there. They had to put the AED machine on them and shock them. Once I finally got relieved, the ambulance had finally showed up. They were still in the parking lot working on this individual, you know. But after the fact, me springing into action and immediately starting CPR saved his life. He ended up going to the hospital. They put a pacemaker in. I seen him like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later when I was working on that unit. He came up to me. He was like, I just want to say thank you because you saved my life. You know, I was like, I'm just doing my job. You know, that's what I'm here for. We go through this training every year. You know, I ended up getting a cash award for that. You know, that was like a heroic act. And they ended up giving me some money. The warden put me in for an award for that, you know. But I say that to say this. That training, like I said, that we go through, that you going through, the CPR, you could be out in public. You could be in a restaurant, the airport, anywhere. And somebody could fall out and go into cardiac arrest or start having a heart attack. You just don't know. The thing is, if you got that training, just spring into action. Do something. Something is better than nothing. You know, me going through that experience, you know, having to do CPR and save somebody's life. If I'm out and about anywhere, somebody was to fall out, you know, and everybody's standing around just looking or whatnot, I'm going to try to at least spring into action. I'm going to tell somebody, yo, you call 911, get the ambulance on the way. And, you know, I'm going to roll them over, do what I got to do, see if they conscious, and I'm going to start doing CPR. You know, if I got to keep doing it till somebody get there, then that it is what it is, you know. But when you go through the training, they'll tell you in the class, it's like, I don't know the exact percentage. I haven't went through training since last year. We go through it every year, but they say for every minute that, or something like that you don't do CPR, their chances of survival goes down by like 15% or something. So if you out and about, you know, and you see somebody else to fall out, you look like they're having a medical emergency, do something, man, especially if you got that training. I'm not telling you to be, Superman, try to save the day. But I mean, if you got the training, why not? You may just potentially save that person's life. That could be the difference between life and death for somebody, you know. I know if I see somebody, I'm going to jump right into it, you know, start pumping their chest. You know, see if somebody else may know CPR, they could take over if I start to get tired. You know, this is the training we go through. Another topic, as far as the training that we go through, de-escalation skills. You know, say you out, you in a restaurant or something, you in the mall, you run across a rowdy crowd, you with your family, you know, y'all may have some words. It look like it could potentially turn hostile or get physical. You know, we go through training every year on how to de-escalate situation. That's a big part of our job. You know, you got an inmate in there, they mad because they didn't get their commissary. A family member may have died on the street. They can't go to the funeral. Now they pissed off, walking around huffing and puffing, throwing shit around the unit. You know, me in that situation, I'm going to do everything I can to try to avoid that situation becoming physical. I'm going to try to talk them down. In corrections, if you could talk an inmate down that's up here that goes from 0 to 100, if you could talk them back down to where they're reasonable, you know, and get them back into where they're like in a more reasonable state, that's how you do the job. That's a good job done versus having to spring into action, possibly putting hands on them, having to tussle with the inmate, having to whip out the OC, spraying them, shit like that, you know? Because when you do all of that, there's always the potential for somebody to get hurt, you know, somebody to get injured on the job. Then, you know, say you got to put hands on the inmate, take them to the ground. You get on your radio, call for assistance. Your staff member, your co-workers are running. Somebody could slip and fall. I've seen that happen. Responding to an emergency, one of my co-workers was running. The floor was wet. He slipped, and I think he tore his ACL. He was out of work for like 3 months, you know. I'm not saying that situation couldn't have been avoided. When stuff goes down in prison, it goes down 0 to 100, man. Sometimes you can't reason, you know, with the inmate. You got to immediately spring into action. An inmate fight go on. An inmate start stabbing another inmate. A staff assault. Inmate just run up to the CO, start punching on them. That's an immediate use of force. You got to spring into action. There's no time to reason. You know, we go through that training too, the use of force module. You know how high you can go versus how high the inmate's going. You got a compliant inmate. You know, everything's good. You got a non-compliant inmate. Now you're using verbal commands, you know, telling them what you want them to do. Now you got a passive non-compliant inmate, man. You may be telling them to go to their cell. They not, fuck you, I'm not going to my cell. Then you got an active resistant inmate, man. You try to escort them to the cell, they yank away. Then it go all the way to the top, man. Now you gotta put hands on them, take them to the ground. They come in at you trying to swing on you, trying to stab you with a knife or a shank, whatever. We got all kinds. It's a use of force module that you got to be in within policy. But when you out in public, you could possibly use that de-escalation to try to talk a situation down. Me, I'm not trying to be Billy Badass. I'm not trying to be Rambo. None of this crazy shit when I'm out and about. You know, I'm cool with everybody. If somebody got a problem with me, I try to talk it out. You know, try to talk them down, come to an understanding. And I'm only going to use physical self-defense, you know, having to put my hands up, duke it out, whatever, as a last resort. You know, that's my mindset, especially when I'm out with my family. You know, I may have my little daughter with me. You know, I got to think. You got to think about situations like that. It may be a group of teenagers, they rowdy, you in the mall. If it's you and your family, you by yourself, you may be with your wife and your little kids. You have to think like that, you know. You may not just be able to just spring into action, shit like that. Start trying to put hands on people. It may be 5 of them, just 1 of you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to learn to walk away. You know, be the bigger person. De-escalate the situation when you can. The next thing. You could be out. This is the big thing that's going on in the world today. You know, we get a lot of mass shootings, active shooters. You know, with working in the prison or the jail, you may be able to conceal carry on your credentials. You know, the badge or the ID that they give us to work in the prison as correctional officers. A lot of us can conceal carry. Or you may just went ahead and took the conceal carry class. Now you can conceal carry. If you out and about, you know, and it's an active shooter, say you in the mall, Walmart, shopping, anywhere, and you know, you start hearing shots, you know, we go through this training every year where I'm at. We go through shooting, you know, defensive shooting, you know, coming out the holster, having to shoot at different distances. When we shoot, every year we got to requalify for the Bureau of Prisons. We carry the pistol, the 9mm, the shotgun, and the M16 are out in the patrol truck. You know, we have to requalify every year. The pistol we shoot from, like, I think it's 3 5, 7, 15 yards away from the target. And you know, it's automatic. As soon as they say ready, set, go, the target turns, and you got so many seconds to draw the handgun out of the holster and fire however many shots. The shotgun, you just kind of just aiming it and shooting it from, like, I think it's 25 yards away. The M16 rifle, you know, that I think we're back like 50 yards, and you got like 15 minutes to complete like 30 rounds, you know. But let's say you out and about. Like I said, you could be in an active shooter situation. That training you getting at work, going to the gun range, that could be the difference between you know, maybe you got your piece on you and you saving lives. You preventing loss of lives. You know, maybe, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying to be Superman, go try to save everybody. You know, you do what you can do, you know, but you may, I don't know, you may be hiding and you got a clear shot of the active shooter and you able to whip your conceal carry handgun out and fire a couple rounds and disable the active shooter. You got to think like that, you know. And then, like I said, when you out, don't like this training that we get, man, it serves a purpose, but don't be out here trying to abuse it when you out and about, man. Don't be thinking you, like I said, Rambo, Superman, you out here trying to do some crazy shit, like you trying to do citizens arrest and shit. You trying to do the police officer's job. You telling people to get out their car with your gun out, showing them when the police come, you showing them your badge. That's not how you do it. You know, you still have to remember that you're just a correctional officer, man. You're not law enforcement unless you know you work in a county jail where you're dually appointed. You may be some facilities, you know, the officers there, they work in the jail, you know, like the sheriff's county jail. They may work inside the jail and they may work on the road as a deputy sheriff, you know. So in that case, they may have full arrest authority. You know, I know me, I'm not going to be out here just trying to, like, you know, do citizens arrest, pulling people over, unnecessary shit like that. I let the cops do their job. You know, I'm just saying in those type of situations that I described, you know, somebody having a medical emergency, you got a rowdy crowd, somebody coming, you know, y'all get into an argument or something while you out and about in public, or you see somebody else arguing, maybe you could try to come in and try to talk them down, de-escalate the situation. You know, words of reasoning, you know. But at the end of the day, man, your safety is the priority. You know, don't put yourself in a situation where you could get harmed or put yourself in harm's way. You got to be smart now with the shit. You know, I'm not like, if it's an active shooter going on, I'm not finna just run out, you know, and I'm not carrying nothing on me or nothing like that. It don't make no sense. You know, I'm going to try to seek cover, run if I can, and shelter in place, you know. If it's a medical emergency, you know, I don't see nobody else hopping in to do anything, I'm going to tell somebody, yo, or whip my phone out while I'm in the process of start the CPR, call 911. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, man. That's the type of stuff I be thinking about when I'm out and about. You know, it be in the back of my head. I'm not like paranoid or nothing crazy like that. You know, I just try to, if those situations were to ever arise when I'm out in the public, you know, I try to do what I can, you know, to help somebody with the training that I get working inside, you know, the prison. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got that merchandise for sale. Shop with me. This one of my shirts right here. Never capping, always stack. I got a lot of gym, workout, you know, motivational stuff, hoodies and t-shirts on my website. Every caption, design, all this stuff you see I designed myself and came up with the logos, the captions, the quotes, and all that. Anytime you buy some merch from me, you personally supporting my creativity, my passion, my vision. Just putting my thoughts or whatever come to my head on a hoodie or t-shirt, man. But yeah, that's some of the training that we may go through. You know, it may be other stuff I missed, you know. If you got any comments, you got any ideas for future videos I could do on, you know, corrections, the job, anything y'all may want to hear from me, I can help people out that's going through the hiring process, thinking about working in corrections. You got a video you want me to do, drop a comment, you know, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can, baby. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.